Janet and John go Christmas shopping. Ho, ho, ho. Today, Janet and John are going Christmas shopping. Janet says, we need to get to the shops early to make sure we get everything. John does not like getting up before 11 o'clock. Janet says, we must remember to pick up the turkey, the Brussels and the stuffing. Do you like stuffing? John climbs out of his gold lame pyjamas with fake medals. It's on his red velvet Christmassy outfit with fur trimmings and some big warm boots. Soon Janet and John are on the bus into town. John is very happy. He stands at the front of the bus upstairs and gets a cold tongue when he licks the bus windows. When they arrive at the shops, it's very busy. There are lots of people buying things. Janet says, why don't you go to the department store over the road and look at the toys? I'll come and get you when I'm finished. John runs up the escalator to the toy department.
I didn't skip. That's something.
See the scattered grannies. When John arrives, the manageress, Mrs. Rawlings, runs up to John and says, are you the replacement Santa? See John shake his head. Mrs. Rawlings says, I was going to have to do it, so if I paid you £50, would you be Santa for the next hour? John thinks of the sweets and fizzy drinks he could buy with £50 and says, can I have a present too? See Mrs. Rawlings give John a present. Mrs. Rawlings shows John to a little cabin with lights around the door. Inside the cabin, there's a comfortable chair, a flask of hot coffee, a plate of mince pies and sausage rolls, and a big bag of presents. See John sit in the big comfortable chair. John gobbles up a mince pie and opens his present. It's a book all about garden birds. John likes birds, but has trouble keeping them off his plums. Just as John is about to have a sausage roll, he hears voices outside. The door opens and a lady comes in. Hello, Santa, says the lady. My name... Oh, God.
Oh, another red flag.
No, is Cordelia Knuckles. I'm a bit old for Santa at 18. Perhaps I could sit on your knee and tell you what I'd like.
See what comes up.
When she'd finished her list, Cordelia rummages about in the presents for ages. John has to tell her to hurry up because there's a queue. When Cordelia's taken her present, the next person comes in. It's Mrs. Bickerdike with her little dog. Hey up, Fluffy Whiskers, says Mrs. Bickerdike. Mrs. Bickerdike is from Yorkshire. See the racing pigeons. Mrs. Bickerdike says, I don't want out for me. I wanted Trixie here to sit on Santa's lap so I could take a picture. Kind John puts the dog on his lap. See Trixie's hot breath make John's glasses go all foggy. Soon the replacement Santa arrives and Mrs. Rawlings gives John £50. Thank you, Mrs. Rawlings, says John, puts the money in his purse. See the moths. John sees Janet outside. Hello, Janet. Those are nice holly wreaths. Yes, they are. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Where have you been? John says, I went into the department store and saw Mrs. Rawlings. She was looking for a man to cover her for an hour, and she said she'd pay me £50. She gave me a book of common birds. The first one, Cordelia Knuckles, turned up and had a good rummage around the bottom of my sack until I gave her a mouthful. Then Trixie came in with Mrs. Bickerdike. She was very excited, and when she sat on my lap, her pants made my glasses steam up. See Janet push 2 large holly wreaths down John's trousers. Hear the screams. Poor John.